WGC, welcome back to the channel. God bless. Thank you for rocking with your boys. Truly appreciate it. Real quick before we get started, I want to send a huge shout out to Jesse and the Pro Wrestling Shoot. He posted one of the most beautifully crafted and insightful deep dives into the history of professional wrestling video games. Not to mention, this video poses a very deep question to the WGC, one that I feel needs to be answered. So I implore you guys to please go check out that video. I will link it down in the description. Share your thoughts on the video and use the hashtag HookMeWWE2K25. And if you would like to show a little more support, share the video with a friend or a fellow WWE 2K fan. Let's get as many eyes on this as possible. But let's pivot to the subject of this video, which is multi-man matches. Multi-man matches have been a mainstay in this series since forever. Unfortunately, what has not been a constant is any meaningful progression when it comes to these type of matches. Finish the story is a very ironic tagline, considering that 2K never seems to finish what they start with anything concerning this series. Whether it be new features, gameplay elements, match types, universe mode, they have this habitual problem with adding new things to the game but then never really following up with any meaningful improvements. And not to anyone's surprise, that holds no different for the current topic at hand. But even with that being said, I still would like to put a few things on their mind that I feel like would make multi-man matches really stand out. WGC, let's work. We have to get more offense in these matches. Multi-man matches, whether it be a triple threat or a fatal four-way, feel more so like two 1v1 matches happening in the same ring. And that's kind of weird. We should have a lot more actions involving multiple participants. Just take the double team offense for example. The restrictions on these are crazy. And while I would love to have more double team moves, that's not so much what I'm talking about. The real culprit is the lack of positions in which these moves are available. As it stands, the corner and the standing drag are the only ways that you're able to initiate double team offense. And if we're all being honest, that's really sad. I operate under the mindset that double team grapple should be available from pretty much every position that standard grapples are available from. So that includes standing, corner, leaning against the ropes, down, kneeling, sitting, all of the above. I would even go as far as to say double team weapon grapples and environmental grapples should be included as well. Let's also not forget about the carry system. I think this could be another interesting way to introduce double team grapples. Just give us a couple of different double team moves from each carry position, allow us to assign these moves in our move sets, and just like that we have drag and carry double team grapples. These interactions are a big part of what makes these match types so appealing. And the cool thing is we can use this exact same philosophy for double grapples. Because the very sad truth is, double grapples suffer an even worse fate than double team grapples. Not only do we have a very minuscule amount of double grapples, we can only pull these off from one position. And that's just tragic. This is why the drag and carry system could play a huge part in making this feature a lot better. So imagine lifting one of your opponents into a fireman's carry position and being able to press slam or throw him into another opponent who's standing in the ring. The same thing could apply to downed opponents. Imagine having your opponent in a powerbomb position and then walking him over to another opponent who's down on the mat and then powerbombing that opponent on top of the other one. These are just very base level examples, but you can already see just how valuable the drag and carry system can be when it comes to multi-man offense. I mean, let's keep it a stack here, man, and stop me if I'm wrong, but isn't the multi-person interaction supposed to be one of the most appealing aspects of these match types? The fact that there are so few of these types of interactions or any kind of standout spots in these matches kind of defeats the purpose. Like seriously, what's the point if these matches are just going to feel like 1v1 matches with a couple extra people in the ring? I say that to say that in addition to more double team and double grapples, we need more standout features exclusive to these match types. One simple but amazing feature would be a pinfall steal. Like imagine your opponent hitting their finisher and then going for a pinfall, but then at the cost of a stored finisher, you're allowed to sneak up behind them and pull them off their opponent and toss them out of the ring, and then you take that pinfall. We see this happen all the time in triple threats and fatal four ways. It's just one of those things that would be pretty dope to be able to pull off in the game. Another dope feature would be multi-man comeback sequences. These will pretty much operate in the same way as standard comebacks, with the only difference being the sequence would end with you taking out all of your opponents and basically being the last man standing in the ring. For example, in a triple threat match, the sequence might end with you doing a double clothesline to both opponents and knocking them both outside the ring, and then following up with a suicide dive and taking out both opponents. A fatal four-way comeback might see you doing something like a super kick party, where you just basically deliver a series of super kicks and taking out all the opponents in the ring. But by far, my favorite spot in any kind of multi-man match is the ones where all hell breaks loose. You know those spots where one guy takes his opponent out with a big move and then he himself is immediately taken out with a follow-up big move. This cycle typically repeats until everybody has had a turn and there is one man left standing. I would love to see something like this added in as maybe like a match exclusive, like super finisher type scenario. I just think it would be one of those things that will be dope to see in the game. But even on a bigger scale, this along with the other things I mentioned accomplish some very important things. For one, they encompass multiple, if not all, opponents that are present in the match. And secondly, a majority of them have match-ending potential. I think this is essential for giving these match types a more unique feel. Another aspect of these match types that could really use some improvement is the pinfall breakups. I will preface this by saying that pinfall breakups, especially from a hit and collision detection, have probably been the best they've been in a long time. Now there are those weird instances where the hit detection works but the collision detection is kind of off. But I think this could be remedied by giving us better selling animations when it comes to pinfall breakups. In addition to this, there should be a lot more variety when it comes to pinfall breakup animations. Stomps, elbows, sentons, leg drops, just to name a few. Grapple pinfall breakups, ranging from simply dragging your opponent out of the pinfall cover to something more complex like a deadlift German suplex. Aerial and springboard pinfall breakups. Frog splashes and swanton bombs coming to mind. And then we have those options where you're actually outside of the ring. The most obvious one that comes to mind is being able to drag your opponent out of the pinfall and to the outside. We were able to do this in past games. For some reason, I don't know if it's still available or not. You guys let me know if it is. I personally haven't seen it, but if not, man, this needs to make a return, along with being able to drag the ref outside of the ring to stop his count. An alternative to dragging your opponent to the outside would be just simply placing his foot on the ropes to stop the count. Earlier, we discussed features that could help you potentially end a match, whereas these are the ones that will help you potentially stop the match from ending. So it's all about a healthy balance and giving players that feeling like they have the power to legitimately influence the outcome in these types of matches. WGC, the floor is yours. Let me know what you guys feel about these concepts. As always, feedback is appreciated. But more importantly, I want to hear from y'all. Let me know what you guys would like to see when it comes to multi-man match types. Do me a favor, if you rock with the content, please leave a thumbs up as it helps me out on the algorithm. Share the video with fellow WWE 2K fans. And subscribe if you have not already. Remember to try to be a blessing to somebody. Love y'all. God bless.